Good afternoon, everybody. Wait a minute. Good afternoon. Come on. Contrary to, I don't even know if this is popular opinion, but, contrary to the opinions of others, I don't think I'm cool at all. I definitely didn't grow up thinking I was cool. I was popular, but not because I was cool. Probably because I had a certain amount of independence and self-confidence from a young age. That's probably what made me cool, because I always wore like funny clothes, and kids were always like, what does she have on? What is that? What are those shoes? Why'd you put those shoes with that shirt? That doesn't match. And then I'd go, it's cool. And then like 3 or 4 months later, they'd have it on. And I said, but wait a minute, you said that my shoes didn't match my shirt. And they say, well, So I just, it's so funny. Every time I hear someone read, I guess, my resume or the things that I've accomplished, I always sort of feel embarrassed, because they're really not my accomplishments to be proud of. I'm not even a person who speaks well, so to be invited to these types of events always overwhelms me, because without the power of God behind everything I do, I really am completely inadequate. I fumble. I always drop the ball. Every time I try to prepare something, I stutter, I stumble, and, what I say is of no effect. But what I found is that every time that I pray before I speak, and I ask God for the confidence in that He be glorified in everything that I say and everything that I do, for some reason, words just come out of my mouth. So please don't be convinced by what people say. I'm not brilliant. I'm not a genius. I'm not even gifted, really. I mean, I have gifts, but these are things that all come from God and through me. I'm 25 years old, which means that we're not separated, by a lot of years. I remember high school like it was 15 minutes ago. And I remember my high school graduation. I didn't get to go because I was on a set of Sister Act 2, and everybody was kind of like, you're filming a movie, why are you upset? But I was really, really distraught. I was really hurt that I couldn't make it back to my high school graduation, because I realized that those things were like so important to me, beyond the, all of the films and the media and the music and the industry things. I really appreciated my friends. I really appreciated my home. I really appreciated graduation. I really did. I appreciated. We had a teacher. His name was Mr. D. Mattia, and there were some kids in the class used to call him D. Motts. And D. Motts was like this funny guy who was really one of those quiet teachers. So we did a lot of bad things in his class. And this was like a pretty advanced class, but we really acted up. And but I mean, those memories are the things that I hold on to, and even right now they ground me. I just wanted to, I guess I'm here, because I really didn't understand why I was here. I feel like I'm 25 years old and I haven't done anything for you guys to be looking at me and saying, what has she done? But if there are any questions about what is ahead for you, please feel free to ask me, because everything that is out there, everything that I'm privy to, so are you. If you get that into your system and get that into your spirit and understand that, we're not separated by anything, not time, nor space, not talent, nor gift, just acknowledgement and understanding where our gifts come from. So really, I think I'm here to answer any questions or to be helpful if anyone has any questions about some of the type of things that I've done.
All right, I wanted to ask you what kind of resistance that you met, because I've heard you talk about artist responsibility, about conveying positive messages to the young people who listen to their music, and I want to know what kind of resistance you met in popular culture and in the record industry in general.
You know what I love? I'm telling you guys, please believe me, 5 years ago I was this. I was like, what kind of resistance did y'all meet in the industry with popular culture when the time was perhaps per se? I was so that. Oh, God. And now, let me tell you, where I am now, I accept and I understand that I don't know anything. First of all, you know, the music industry is just a microcosm of the world. So whenever you stand for something and you stand for goodness and truth, you will always get resistance. That's period. Whether you're in the pharmaceutical industry, the record industry, or whatever. Whenever you stand for truth and for the service, the service of others. See, I could make money very easily. I could make records that are self-indulgent and, basically self-promote me. I could do that. Promote myself. That was redundant, but you know what I mean. Just do those things. It's very easy. As a matter of fact, lyrically as an MC, that stuff comes easy. But in order to promote something higher, I feel now, at the ripe old age of 25, that the only thing that I could do is serve others. You understand what I'm saying? And because there are people who have not reached that point in their walk, yes, there's a little anger, there's a little resentment, because you raise a standard, you especially when you do it and you make some noise, and you do it and people actually listen to what you have to say, and like your record is bumping on the radio and you're saying something that holds a mirror up to a lot of the negativity and self-indulgent things and messages that a lot of other people, but we're all young. I have a hard time being so hard on the music world, especially hip hop, because most of them come out of the hood 17 years old, having no clue or concept, having no concept of what life really is. And because hip hop is so fast and what we like changes so quickly, by the time they do get a concept, they're no longer making records. So I've been put in this unique position. I have this very unique responsibility that God has made me aware while I still have the mic. And it's like I was expressing to my good friend today. I said, my mother, she taught me. She raised me with certain morals and certain standards. But, like any kid, when I was out there with my friends, I cut up, I wilded out, acted up amongst people whose mothers may not have taught them the same ideals. But every time I acted up, it was like my mother was always right there. She was always there, like, Lauryn, I see you and you know better. And I got in trouble. And that is how my Father in heaven responds to me. Listen, I told you don't do that. I told you don't do that. And I told you that you better have the courage, because the kids, they may talk about you. They might say bad things about you, but when you come home, what I have waiting for you, if you do what I tell you to, and also what I have waiting for you if you don't. So that's enough for me. That's enough for me. I have reached a place, and I'm telling you, I'm so blessed to have reached this place where, 5 years ago, I was so thin-skinned. Whatever anybody said would just, oh, my God, they don't like this rhyme, and oh, my songs, and and then one day I woke up, and it was like my skin was it was so thick, it was impenetrable by those fiery darts. They just had no effect, and I realized that was a strength and a confidence that only came from a higher source. And we have to be determined, and you have to know that for me now, I'm learning that it's more important to be righteous than to be right. I've tried to be right. This is right. This is an injustice. This is a travesty. I'm right. But I've been very unrighteous and still right. Oh my God, because you can attack someone completely right, but it doesn't resolve anything. It doesn't solve your problem. So I understand now that the battlefield and that the war is so much greater than what we see before us. I live in this physical body. This is like my address, like 22 Eder Terrace. I just gave everybody my address, but that's my address. Write me, no. But this is where I live, but there's something much deeper. Who I am, has nothing to do with, the hair and the shoes and stuff, even though I like shoes. But, it has nothing to do with that. So I, and what I do, I find there's a lot of power in prayer. So I pray for the people who don't understand me. And I tell you, to be honest with you, I pray more now to be understood No, excuse me, to understand than to be understood. I pray now to learn how to love than to be loved. Because God has given me an abundance, so, I don't need God. These people don't understand me. They think I'm crazy. Every time I'm on the mic, they just, it's not about that. I pray that I understand them so that I can talk to them, minister to them even more. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm just not afraid of, it's of no effect. It's immaterial to me. Because our enemies are not physical bodies. They're actually our family. They don't know it, and we don't always know it. But our enemies are not, they're not flesh and blood. And our problems are not flesh and blood, even though we think they are. I hope I know that was very, I don't mean to sound ethereal, because what I'm saying, I'm telling you, is heavy as bricks. It's concrete. It's very concrete. Sometimes it can sound like doo-doo-doo, but it's not that. It's like, who saw the movie The Matrix? Okay, good. Then we can start from a point of reference. Matrix was a banging movie to me, and the reason why I appreciated it so much was because, do you remember at the end when Neo realized his potential? He started to see the binary code. You remember that, the whole world? Well, that's where I'm trying to be spiritually. I'm trying to see the word of God in the whole world. So every time that agent throws a punch, I'm like, I see you. Oh, okay. I'm just catching his punches. So I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid because I'm starting to see that. Things are just, situations materialize themselves and, oh, he's an agent. But here's the trick. Here's the trick. Here's the trick is that you have to remember that sometimes you can be an agent. You can be an agent to yourself. You can be an agent against someone else and not even realize that you're being used, That's the matrix.